How's it going, guys? Hope you're all doing all right. Kuzman here. Just gonna be doing a little video here with the highlights of my sprint race and my 50% race at the round 13 of CCRL Spa of the Elite Tier. Just gonna go talking through some of the nice moments of my race and some of the bad moments as well, and see if we can obviously learn from it and improve for next race. Hope you guys enjoy, and yeah, let's get into it. So this week's race was actually a reverse sprint, which pretty much just means the starting order depends on the championship standings in reverse, pretty much. So championship leader right now, Nick Nack, is starting last. I'm currently in third, so I'm starting in this case 15 on the grid. So yeah, just gonna make things a bit more interesting. We're gonna have to fight our way through the pack, hopefully avoid any incidents, right? So we'll just kind of go through it. I mean, 3 lights at this point, 4, 5, and we're off. I do get a good run down the line. Unfortunately, I get a bit bumped here around. I believe there was some contact on my left side. I still managed to pretty much go through turn 1 without any damage. There's a big pile up right in front of us, which I don't know how we managed to avoid. And at this point, it's just about going back into a rhythm, right? My heart probably was really fast at this moment. And yeah, just trying to get as much positions as I can out of this start. Try to avoid any incidents in general. Trying to go through Bong and try to fake a little bit on the inside, make him go defensive and try to swoop around the outside. And at that point, P9 was in the bag. Again, here just a better exit than Owa, and just using some ERS down the inside, nice on the brakes, not to lock up and go wide. And we're into P8, so we're doing some nice progress at the moment. I'm obviously trying to stay away from Nick Nack, trying to get as much distance between him and myself as possible. Yeah, here it was a bit tricky. The Aston Martin was a bit laggy, so I didn't want to get that close and risk having a collision. I lost a bit the rear there, just a bit focused on Curvo that almost lost it as well in front of me. And yeah, just trying to position the car as best as I can to try to get a better exit that R Mason, and try to pass him without making any contact since his car was a bit laggy. Didn't want to risk it. Until now, I mean, first lap, we're up to P7, so it's a pretty good start, pretty happy with it. But again, I have to be patient here. I cannot rush these overtakes because very easy to also lock it up, get into an incident, and find myself back in the back of the grid again. So yeah, coming into turn 1, not really close enough to try a move on Curvo, but I can probably set myself up a bit better for the actual main straight here. Again, using some ERS. I believe my car was pretty fast on the straights compared to some other guys, so probably just running a bit lower downforce than most of the guys. But yeah, obviously trying to save some ERS. I don't want to push and waste all of it. I know the cars in front will probably be involved in some sort of an incident sooner rather than later, as Curvo goes a bit deep and allows me to just kind of go side by side with him. Some nice clean racing with Curvo there, and managed to go into P6. Now right behind my teammate here, John the Prince. I believe he just doesn't fight me too much here. Lets me pass. Yeah, I would love to wave at him as I pass, but not really possible here. And now I'm trying to fight Onyote, right? I'm trying to find a way through in this section, but obviously it's hard. I don't want to risk it, so I'm just kind of putting my nose there, letting him know that I'm there. Maybe put some pressure in, pressure him, and maybe try to get him to lock his tires, go a bit deep, and just try to get a better exit than him. Which in this case we do. I'm right on his gearbox, but again, it's not the best position to overtake. He's positioning his car in relatively a good point in the track, making it a bit dangerous to try and move here. Same again here. I was gonna go down the inside, but again, don't risk it. As you can see, he just makes a little mistake that goes a bit deep and allows me to just do a nice little move into the bus stop chicane. So lap 2, pretty much not looking too bad. We're heading into lap 3 now. Again, P4 at the moment, so looking pretty good. I mean, I have the top 3 guys right in front of me, so now again, I have got 5 laps. Need to be patient here. Nick Nack is right behind me now, so I am getting a little bit impatient because I want to get moving, because obviously I just want to get cars in between both of us. Try to avoid fighting him if possible. Now again, we all have DRS here. Coming into that turn, I'm just gonna back off, let these guys kind of do their thing, but Hemphead, as you can see, he also tried to back off as well. And yeah, here we got a little bit bumpy there, probably just reacted a little bit later. Wasn't expecting he was going to brake that early. But yeah, going a bit defensive here. Knick-Knack managed to get pretty close to me there, so just had to defend a little bit the inside there. And now I have to reset, right? I had a near miss there, went off track. I have to reset here and charge back up to Hemphead and try to pass him a bit cleaner, pretty much, right? So yeah, key at this moment, just kind of managing my tires a little bit, trying to look for where I can pass Hemphead. I can see he's going a little bit deep on the corners here, so getting a good exit might be the best chance. And as you can see, again, he just misses that apex, allows me to close up to his gearbox, and again, just yeah, probably he just hit a bit of the curve on the inside there, push his car wide, and we managed to get clean through. Moving into the next lap 4, I'm trying to again just put as much pressure as I can on Charlie. Tried to go for a dive there, but yeah, it wasn't worth it. And a virtual safety car comes out at this moment, so race kind of just stabilized there for a bit. Didn't take too long to restart, and we go again. Coming into the start of lap 5, we don't have that much of a gap back to Knick-Knack, so I need to try to get this move done as soon as possible. Ideally, again, just getting as much cars as possible in between us. Trying to set myself up for a good exit here, heading to Eau Rouge. I'm inside DRS, so is Knick-Knack as well, so I'm going to be pulling him down the straight probably. And yeah, again, I'm trying to be patient here. I know Charlie is also going to attack, most likely Tony. So I either can attack Charlie or just let the fight evolve a little bit and see where I can pass him. So again, just kind of faking a little move there, seeing where Charlie goes. I'm going to try to set him up here, get a bit of a wider entry to be able to cut that corner a bit more and be more aggressive on the throttle. And as you can see, I managed to dive down the inside, very close to some sort of contact there, but we both kept it pretty clean. Charlie pretty nice around the outside, and we're into P2. Now here's where things start to get a bit messy. Probably first bad decision that I took in the afternoon. I should have been more patient here, 3 laps to go. I shouldn't have rushed this, but I started to see that obviously I was catching Tony pretty fast. He was just seemed like he was struggling a little bit with his rears, as you can see right there. And I decided to go for the move down the back straight, which again probably wasn't the best decision looking at it now. I should have probably just waited for the DRS straight to avoid him attacking me back on it, which we'll get into in a bit. Managed to get the overtake done, and again at this point I'm thinking, well, I'm gonna be under a lot of pressure into turn 1 especially, and obviously down the back straight. Little wheel bang in there, trying to give him as much room as I can without obviously compromising my exit as well. At this point I needed to get a good exit out of turn 1 to try to get as much distance as possible and try to see if I could defend down the back straight. But it was going to be hard for sure. The DRS is as strong as we know in Spa, and yeah, this is where I noticed and I realized that probably I should have attacked him now rather than back there in the back straight, because as you can see I tried to position my car in the middle of the road, but he somehow sneaks past on my outside, which, to be fair, a very nice move from him. He loses a bit traction here, which catches me off guard, and I just just rookie mistake here from me, lose the rear tires and into the wall. So yeah, that was my sprint pretty much. I ended up crashing into the barriers. Tony just lost a bit of traction there. He slowed down a bit, which made him kind of tap him on the back. We got a little bit sideways, both of us, and I just ended up losing that rear tire. Meaning, obviously, I'm gonna start the race back again at the back of the field. So yeah, promising sprint race, but not exactly what I was looking for, especially for the championship. It's gonna hurt me for sure. So heading into the main race now. Got 3, 4, 5, and we're off. I decided to start on the softs, trying to obviously pick up as many spots as I can on the early laps. As you know, this first couple corners are a bit tricky, trying to find my way through, not getting any incidents. I find myself in a position where obviously no one likes to be in the middle of two cars, just trying to give as much space as I can. And obviously side by side or Rouge can be tricky. Just give Shiesty a bit of room there. Try to set myself up for a better exit down the straight with a bit of ERS. Managed to get the pass on. Now I'm looking in front. There's a big pile of cars, so I know there's gonna be some sort of someone going wide, someone locking up. I can see Johnny Damon. I managed to get close to him. I tried to set myself up for a good exit, which I do. I get some ERS. He moves a little bit on the late side for my liking, but I managed to stick it down the inside with a little bit of help there from Hempen, actually blocking him a little bit in a way. I managed to get past Johnny Damon, which, if I'm not mistaken, he's right behind me on the championship, so that was a nice pass. This one I like a lot. I mean, just downshift to 6 and just cut on the inside, use that mechanical grip from the car and just go down the inside. At this point, again, just focusing in front. I'm being patient at this moment. I knew my mistake on the sprint was just being a bit impatient, so I'm just trying to figure out where are people making mistakes, where can I capitalize on them, get good exit out of the corner, use some ERS, and as you can see again, just managing to get past the Ferrari of Bonget. And now back behind Charlie, which hasn't been easy to pass, that's for sure. We'll see how this goes. Again, just trying to maximize my braking. I actually went a bit wide there. And yeah, again, coming into lap 1, from back of the grid back to 7, I think that's a pretty nice lap 1. It's all about, again, just managing my race, right? I don't have to rush it that much. Trying to get a good exit here and see if I can maybe catch up to Charlie through a Rouge and then on the back straight. But as you can see, it seems like he's using quite a bit of ERS as well. I'm trying to conserve a little bit here. Don't want to waste it all. I'm gonna have to do quite a bit of passes, so I need to be conservative on it. At this point I gave up on the ERS and I'm just gonna be pretty much just looking in front, seeing where people are gonna make mistakes. In this case, Charlie goes a little bit on the curb there, which allows me to again just pick that wide entry for a sharper entry to the turn, use my ERS, but again he actually got a bit of a better one this time, so I'm having to pretty much just follow through. No need to push anything here. There's really no place to pass in this scenario unless the car in front does some sort of a mistake, which Charlie in this case, to be fair, he was riding pretty consistent, so not really much I could do here. I tried the same move that I did on Hemphead, going into 6, trying to cut on the inside, but again Charlie just defends very well, doesn't really give me much chance to overtake him pretty much, so that was a pretty nice defense from him. Again, just trying to set myself up with good exits to try to get that traction down as fast as possible and try to see if I can do something out of this turn, which again, I'm using a bit of ERS. I don't want to waste all of it, so I'm probably, yeah, as you can see, I'm turning it off now and just yeah, at this point obviously virtual safety car came out and probably I should have waited a bit more. I don't know, probably again a bit of a rush decision from me, but I decided to pit here, which was a surprise for a lot of people because not many people pitted under this virtual safety car. But yeah, I was under the assumption that of course on the sprint we got one virtual safety car, so I thought there was not going to be much else, hopefully, obviously. So I decided to pit for mediums, trying to extend those mediums up to lap 14, 15 and then just pit for another set of new softs and hopefully be on the fastest tire at the end. But we'll see, the strategy changed pretty fast. Coming into lap 4 here, again behind Shiesty again. Obviously we're on brand new mediums. His tires are already kind of, I would say, around half their lifespan. Softs really lasted around 8 to 9 laps on full fuel at least. So I knew I was gonna be able to pass him relatively easily here with a bit of ERS. I had the DRS as well, so it shouldn't be such a hard overtake to perform. And now I had Urban 2 seconds in front of me, so just trying to focus, catching him corner by corner on the fresher tires. And it took me a little bit. I mean, it took me pretty much the whole lap to close down that gap. As you can see, coming into the end of lap 4, Urban goes a bit wider, a bit deep on the brakes, which allows me to pretty much set myself up pretty good with the DRS as well. And now we're setting our aim on Kerbal. Again, Kerbal, very solid driver, not many mistakes in his locker, so it took me again pretty much a full lap to close that gap. As you can see, coming to the end of lap 5. Again, brave on the brakes there, trying to get as close as I can into that gearbox. Getting a good exit here. This DRS, to be honest, I mean, unless the car in front has a very bad exit out of the chicane, it's going to be hard to overtake there. But it sets you up very nicely for Eau Rouge and trying to follow the car in front as best as you can, right? So again, I can see I'm already getting pretty close to him, so I decide to stay in 7th gear. That way I'm not too close to him and I still keep my revs up. Upshift to 8th, and then I can just activate my DRS, and again, simple overtake, well planned, patient, paying off as well, of course. And now again, just looking forward towards my teammate. 3.5 seconds ahead. We're gonna jump a couple of laps in the future, I guess. Lap 7, I was catching at this moment, still 1.3 seconds ahead, but as you can see, Bong had just hit the outside wall there, or the inside wall, I guess, in Eau Rouge, and the safety car comes out. So my plans to pit for a soft at the end pretty much out the window now. So pretty much I decided to pit in, put on a set of hards, and go to the end pretty much. You'll see at this point probably most the grid did the same thing, so everybody here at this point was on equal tires, which obviously for me wasn't ideal. It just meant probably the fighting and the overtakes are going to be a bit harder. Unluckily, a little bit of a delay here with the double stack, but nothing too serious since it's a safety car. It's just not the end of the world. And yeah, coming into lap 9, 2 laps later, we're up and running again. Thankfully my teammate here just doesn't really fight me that much. Again, appreciate that, John. And yeah, a lot of cars in front of me. Safety car restarts are always a little bit hectic, so at this point I wasn't really going to try any move unless I saw someone do a mistake, which is how I was kind of driving on this race, knowing what happened on the sprint. I was just a bit more patient, especially when there's a lot of cars involved. Someone's going to try and overtake, maybe go late on the brakes, and a space will be open pretty much, right? So as you can see right here, Hemped a little bit wider allows me again to cut on the inside and set myself up for a nice little exit. ERS open again, and brave on the brakes again, not locking up, and able to stick it down the inside of Hemped. Again, I was kind of doing that move quite a bit throughout the race, seemed to be working for me. And yeah, now back on the back of Johnny Damon, trying my best to obviously again just take advantage of any sort of incidents or mistakes from any of the drivers in front. As you can see here, Johnny goes a little bit wide, trying to see if I can do some sort of a switch back here, put some pressure on Johnny, but again, he doesn't seem to crack under pressure that much, so just following through at this point. Not much I can do. I use a bit of ERS here, see if I maybe could try and go around somewhere here. I try to go the outside, but again, he defends well. I mean, at the end of the day, it's not the best position to overtake. I end up running a little bit out of room, so I just decide to back off a bit here. And yeah, coming to the bus stop chicane, locks a little bit there Johnny. He comes back to me. I tried the switchback, which probably would have worked, but I just lost a little bit the rear there, a little bit too eager on the throttle, and Johnny managed to stay in front of me. But again, I'm just patient again. I know I'm gonna have DRS probably, I believe, or maybe not, because the safety car just came in, so probably won't have DRS, but I'll just follow them through. I won't use that much of my ERS, because again, they can't go that far when you have 3 drivers in front of you. I mean, they can go as fast as the guy in front, right? So I'm just being patient here, not wasting my ERS, and waiting for an opportunity pretty much. You can see they're pulling a little bit from me at this point. I'm just taking it a bit easier, this brand new hards. And again, Johnny does a little mistake there. I tried to go down the inside. Probably if I was a bit closer I would have been able to, but again, just have to follow through pretty much. Not much I can force here in terms of an overtake, especially coming to sector 2 pretty much. I just have to wait for some sort of a mistake from either of the guys in front. So yeah, let's see what happens here. Again, just trying to follow Johnny. Something happens here with the Ferrari in front. As you can see, he goes a bit wide, and as he comes back into track, I guess just a little bit of yeah, just Johnny Damon also kind of misses his braking point, and I managed just to squeeze on the inside of both. I mean, they both did some mistakes there, which cost them the position pretty much. So I'm clear through into P5. So looking good for now. Going into lap 12 now, again catching up to Charlie, and I think just the game didn't want me to battle with Charlie because every time I get close to him, safety car comes in. And again, I decide to this time go straight into the pits. A little tap there on Charlie, he just broke a little bit too early. Luckily I didn't get any damage. And I decide to go for the soft tires. I thought might as well. A lot of people stayed out on the hards, which, yeah, they might be a good tire still, but I'm gonna be much faster on these brand new softs. So as you can see, Knick-Knack on mediums those are brand new mediums, and Charlie is also on brand new soft. The rest of the field, so the top 5, are all on the used hards. So ideally, obviously, Knick-Knack, Charlie, and myself, we should be able to move through the field relatively easy, hopefully. But again, I'm not gonna take any unnecessary risks at this point. Again, I'm just gonna follow guys along. Safety car restarts, there's always gonna be something. Cars are pretty bunched up. So yeah, at this point again, just using a bit of ERS to stay kind of at a attacking range, let's put it that way, but not so much that I compromise my lines. So again, at this point everybody's pretty well behaved. Charlie's just following Knick-Knack, and Knick-Knack is following the Mercedes of Urban. And here, as you can see, Knick-Knack is trying the move I've been doing all along, but ends up flipping slightly Urban, and Charlie ends up hitting Urban. And luckily, I don't know how I didn't get any damage here, but I managed to get both the positions. A bit unlucky for Urban there, of course, to get smashed by Charlie, but nothing Charlie could do at that moment. So yeah, moving on. Again, Quirble here, which we had a little battle before the early laps. Again, Knick-Knack is moving through the field and I have to follow him, right? I cannot let him go too far ahead. Quirble, a little mistake there, going a little bit deep on his braking point, and allows me to just get side by side. He decides to back off a little bit, didn't want to try the side by side upper rouge, and just allows me to go into P5. So now it's all about chasing after Knick-Knack, not letting him get away. I should be on the faster tire at the moment. Probably his mediums will be a bit faster by the end, but I should be able to hopefully stick with him for now, right? So again, I know he's obviously going to be hard to overtake. He's not just going to let me pass, seeing as he's on first on the championship. So at this point, again, just following him through, trying to look for maybe some mistakes or some lines where maybe I could take advantage of. He has my teammate right in front of him, yeah, I don't expect any sort of too aggressive overtakes during this portion of the track at this moment. I tried to put Knick-Knack under pressure here, tried to fake a little move down the inside, which doesn't really work. I mean, I don't have any space to do anything, so I'm just following through pretty much at this point. Thinking again about the good exits, so focusing on my brake zone and just putting that power back into the ground, trying to get good exit here. ERS activated. I can see Knick-Knack is following the McLaren in front pretty much down the gearbox, so I managed to sneak down the inside of both of them. Knick-Knack really doesn't have anywhere to go because he's boxed in, and unfortunately the front wing of Knick-Knack probably catches a little bit of the rear tire of my teammate, and yeah, he got a little spin there into the wall. So unfortunate for my teammate, he was having a very good race in P4. But yeah, we've got pretty much 5 laps to go. I'm in the back of Reimer, which again, both of these guys in front of me are on used mediums. So again, I should be pretty fast at this point on the track. And as you can see, Reimer obviously putting as much as a fight as he can, but just better traction, more confident up or rouge, and allows me to just stick with him. DRS activated. Some of my ERS to kind of help with the overtake before the brake zone, and I managed to get past into second. Now at this point I had 2.6 seconds to Walrus, and I was catching him probably around 4/10 a lap more or less. And coming to the end of lap 17, unfortunately the safety car comes a bit too late in terms of I just passed the pit entry. And as you can see, a lot of people are pitting behind me for brand new softs. Now luckily as well for us, Walrus and myself, the safety car kind of takes a bit of time to actually exit the pit lane. So we managed to sneak past it, allowing us to go another lap under Delta and actually jump into the pits at this point. Now Knick-Knack actually stays out on those mediums for track position. At this point I knew I was going to lose some track position, but those fresh softs would probably help me get those back. So that's what I was aiming for pretty much. just being on the fastest tires possible, right? Trying to recreate a little bit of that Abu Dhabi scenario in a way. So here we go. We're gonna have 2 laps to go, and we're just gonna go through both of the laps together. Again, we've got pretty much the top 4 guys in the championship right here, so I know it's not gonna be easy to pass any of them. So again, just kind of following through. No DRS, of course, for any of the 2 laps, so it's going to be pretty much just pure pace and pure racecraft if any of us want to pass the other guy. As you can see, Walrus tries around the outside of Arouge, a bit too promising there if that would have been the case. But yeah, just using a bit of ERS, not wasting it that much because I know I'm going to need it coming the end of the race. Trying to see if someone goes a bit wide. As you can see, trying to set up myself with the move I've been doing pretty much the whole race, which seems to be working. Walrus tries to defend. I go down the inside, but he ends up locking up a little bit and going a bit deep, but he actually manages to stick it around the outside. I left him enough space. Yeah, could he leave me a little bit more room there? Probably, but nothing too crazy there. I got a penalty, which really didn't help me in terms of my peace of mind. But here I think Walrus just leaves the door open. He leaves the door open. I managed to go down the inside. I keep it close to the apex with bank wheels a little bit there. I mean, don't think much of it, just some hard racing at that point. I felt like he just probably didn't think I was going to go for that move, but you know, a couple laps to go, 1 lap to go almost. Fighting for the championship here, we're going to take those caps, right? So now, pretty much at this point, I have that 3-second penalty, so I know in terms of winning on track it's gonna be hard. I'm never gonna pull 3 seconds from these guys, so I'm just trying to get as much as I can, right? So I'm sticking to Johnny Damon as close as I can. He locks up the rear there, which obviously makes me tap him a little bit on the gearbox there. But yeah, at this point I'm just thinking I'm gonna set myself up for a nice exit for the back straight, and unfortunately again Johnny Damon locks a little bit that rear, which just causes me to go into the back of him. Not really much I could do at that point, and unfortunately didn't want it to be that way, but I managed to sneak into P2. And now it's all about chasing Knick-Knack. Now I know I'm on brand new softs, he's on used medium, so again I should have more than enough pace to catch up to him. Now passing him will be another story, but as you can see I'm gonna catch quite a bit on him on this couple turns right here, just pretty much 3/10 already, almost 4/10, and yeah, I still have some ERS left. Walrus is pretty close behind me, so I also, as you can see, I'm kind of keeping an eye out on what he's doing, where is he putting his car, if he's gonna try a move on the same place I did. Yeah, I got a good run as well into Knick-Knack here. I get very nice grip from my brand new softs, and I thought I maybe might as well try it. I went around his outside, but again he defended well. Nothing, I wasn't gonna try and keep it around the outside, would have been a bit too crazy from my side. I tried my best, putting him under pressure. Had to go a bit defensive here because Walrus was right down my gearbox. I think I defended that properly as well, and now it's all about just a drag race to the end. Using that slipstream, using all the ERS I have. I'm gonna try and go around the outside, but as you can see I just ran out of ERS, and to be fair just ran out of room here. And now going into the bus stop chicane, I really didn't I didn't know what to do here. I was gonna see if I went deep and try to go around him, then I try to do a little switchback, but to be fair Knick-Knack defended it pretty good down the bus stop, and he ends up taking the victory there. At least provisional, right? I mean, there might be some incidents later on, but for now, as you can see, I mean, overall P3 due to the poor sprint that I had, but overall, I mean, it was an exciting race. I learned a little bit from that race as well as the sprint. So yeah, next week we'll be in Canada. I hope you guys enjoyed it, and yeah, I'll see you next week. Take care, guys.